I don't sleep anymore. It's not the insomnia that bothers you after a tragedy. It's not the nightmares, though those come too. It's the smell. They told me it would fade. They said the olfactory memory is the strongest, but with time, it would become just a ghost of a memory. They were wrong. It's 3 a.m. as I'm telling you this. And I can smell it. Right now. That acrid, sweet, chemical stench of everything you own turning into black, greasy smoke. It's not a memory. It's in the air. It's in my clothes. It's in my lungs. My name is Daniel. And 6 months ago, I killed my family. That's what the official report said, anyway. Accidental fire caused by faulty wiring in a space heater. But you know when you're being blamed. You feel it. The way the insurance adjuster wouldn't look me in the eye. The way my sister stopped calling. They all think I was careless. They think I fell asleep with it on, too close to the old curtains in the cabin, but the space heater wasn't on that night. And the fire didn't start in the walls. We had the old Kettle Creek cabin. It was my grandfather's. A place of pine wood, cold drafts, and silence. The kind of silence that has weight. We went up there that last weekend to get away from everything. My wife, Elena, our daughter, Lily. She was 7. The first night was fine. We made popcorn, watched an old movie on a laptop because the TV antenna was down. Lily fell asleep between us, her little hand clutching my shirt. I carried her to her room, that small loft space at the top of the stairs. I kissed her forehead. Her skin was cold. It was always cold up there. I remember waking up at 2:47 a.m. I looked at the clock. I didn't know why I was awake. There was no sound. No crackle, no alarm. Just a feeling. A wrongness. The air in the bedroom was thick. Not hot, but thick, like you're breathing water. And it was watching me. That's the only way I can describe it. The darkness in the corner of the room wasn't just the absence of light. It was a presence. A shape that was too dark. I sat up. And that's when I heard it. From the loft. A voice. Lily's voice, Daddy. It's so hot. Her voice was calm. Too calm. And it was coming from everywhere, not just upstairs. It was coming from the walls. I threw the covers off and ran. The hallway was a tunnel of black. I got to the stairs and looked up. I couldn't see the loft. All I could see was a glow. Not the warm orange of a fire, but a deep, angry red, like a wound. The stairs were wooden. Old. Dry. They should have been kindling. But they weren't burning. The fire was up there, in Lily's room, and it was staying there. I screamed her name. I put my foot on the first step. It was cold. Ice cold. The second step was the same. I took a third, a fourth. The heat hit me like a physical wall. It was a paradox. My feet were freezing, but my face felt like it was blistering. I reached the top. The door to her room was open. Inside, the fire wasn't consuming. It was standing. A column of silent, roaring flame in the center of the room, reaching up to the ceiling. It made no sound. No crackling. No hissing. Just a low, omnipresent hum, like a refrigerator, but inside my skull and Lily. She was sitting up in her bed. The flames were all around her, licking at her sheets, curling near her hair. But she wasn't burning. She was looking at the column of fire, her eyes wide open, reflecting the red light. And she was smiling, "Lily." I roared, lunging into the room. The moment I crossed the threshold, the sound started. A deafening whoosh, as if the fire had just realized I was there. It was angry. The column of flame exploded outwards, catching the curtains, the old stuffed animals, her drawings. The smoke became a living thing, a black serpent that went straight for my throat, choking me, blinding me. I pushed through it. I grabbed Lily by the arm. She was freezing. Her skin was the temperature of ice. I pulled her out of the bed, and as I did, she turned her head to look at me. Her smile was gone. Her face was blank. Her mouth moved, but the voice that came out wasn't hers. It was a crackling, dry voice, like burning timber. He was cold. He was looking for the warmth. Now he's here. He's in the walls. I didn't stop to understand. I carried her down the stairs. The smoke followed us, not like smoke rises, but like it was chasing. It poured down the stairs in a thick, rolling wave. I got to the front door, kicked it open, and ran out onto the snow-covered porch. The cold air hit us. Lily started coughing, real coughing, and the blankness left her face. She started crying, screaming for her mom. I turned back. The cabin windows were glowing. I was about to go back in for Elena when the windows blew out. A shard of glass sliced my cheek. The fire roared, finally sounding like a fire, and the porch began to catch. I held Lily and watched as the roof of the loft collapsed inward. They found Elena in the bedroom. They said she died of smoke inhalation. She never even woke up, but that's not the end of the story. That's just what happened to my family. The horror is what happened to me after. We went to a hotel in town. A cheap, fluorescent lit place. Lily was in shock. She wouldn't talk. She just stared at the wall. Around 4 a.m., she finally fell asleep. I sat in a chair by the window, staring at the parking lot, at the distant glow of emergency lights still at the cabin site up on the mountain. I must have drifted off. I woke up to the sound of a siren in the distance. But that's not what pulled me from sleep. It was the smell. The smoke. I shot up. The room was dark, but the smoke detector was silent. The smell was coming from the bathroom. The door was closed. A thin line of light shone from under it. I walked over, my heart hammering. I pressed my ear to the door. I heard a sound. Not crackling, but a wet, rhythmic sound. A sound like chewing or sucking. I turned the knob. It was warm. I pushed the door open. The bathroom was filled with steam, not smoke. The shower was on, the water scalding hot, pouring onto the tile floor. And in the bathtub, the white curtain was drawn. I could see a silhouette behind it. A figure, standing under the water. It was tall. Too tall. Its head was almost touching the ceiling. "Hello." I whispered. The silhouette tilted its head. A hand, gray and slick, pressed against the inside of the curtain, leaving a black, sooty print. It pushed the curtain aside. It was the fire. Or what the fire had left behind. It was a man-shaped thing, but its skin was charcoal, cracked and glowing with deep red lines, like magma flowing through the cracks of a burnt log. Its eyes were not eyes, but holes, looking into a space that wasn't there. Its mouth was open, wider than any human jaw, and inside, instead of a tongue, there was a single, bright, unwavering flame. It was the cold one. The one Lily talked about. The thing that had been looking for warmth. It had found it. It had taken our fire, our cabin, my wife. And now it had found us. It didn't move toward me. It just stood there, water hitting its charcoal skin, turning to steam with a violent hiss. It slowly raised one blackened finger to where its lips should be. SSSSHHHH. I slammed the door shut and grabbed Lily. We ran. We didn't stop until we were in the car, driving out of town. I didn't look back. I told the police there was a man in the room. They searched. The bathroom was empty. The shower was off. The floor was dry. But the smoke detector in the hotel room was melted. A perfect, circular drip of plastic, as if something very hot had been standing directly under it. That was 6 months ago. We moved. We changed our names. But you can't outrun a thing that's made of memory and ash. I see it in reflections. A smudge in the mirror that stays when I walk away. A darker patch of shadow in the corner of Lily's new room. At night, I hear a faint, wet crackling sound coming from the vents. And the smell. Always the smell. Lily started talking again last week. I was tucking her in. She looked at the dark corner of her room, the one I checked 10 times a night, and she didn't seem scared. She seemed tired. Like me, she grabbed my hand and whispered, "Daddy. The cold man isn't in the corner anymore." I felt a wave of relief so powerful my knees almost buckled. I asked her where he was. She looked past me, toward the open door of her room, toward the hallway behind me. Her eyes got wide, and she pulled the blanket up to her chin. She didn't whisper this time. She just mouthed the words, "He's right behind you. He says you're the one who's warm now. I don't dare turn around." The smell of smoke is filling the room. The air is getting thick. And as I sit here, in the dark, with my daughter's terrified eyes fixed on something over my shoulder, I can feel it. A cold hand resting on the back of my neck, and a voice, like burning timber, whispers one word into my ear: burn.